All right. We are live. Happy Friday, everyone, as you're tuning in. We are now live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So whether you're tuning in at, thanks for joining us. This is the Managing Partners podcast, which we record live. So if you're listening now or in the future, this will be up on our podcast, on our website, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So feel free to check this out. If you find it helpful, watch it again. I'm Kevin Daisy, your host, also the founder of Array Digital. We exist to help law firms grow their firms and fill their pipelines. I have a special guest today, Tom Winslow, down from South Carolina. Thanks for joining me.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so thanks for coming on the show. Excited to learn more about your story, your background, and how other attorneys listening to this can take a little nugget home, learn a little bit, and hopefully help with their own practice. So first question. Tell us about Tom Winslow. What's your story, your journey? How did you get where you're at today?
I appreciate it, Kevin. Thank you for having me. I am an attorney over at Goldfinch Winslow Law Firm down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Blessed to be down here, especially this time of year when everybody's vacationing down here. I live here, right? So it is a blessing. I started off practicing about 16 years ago. About 8 years. 2014, 2013, we started Goldfinch Winslow Law Firm. And at that point, we had 2 attorneys and 70 cases. As of the end of last year, we had 7 attorneys and 1,700 cases come in the year of 2020 during COVID. And so we have been extremely blessed to be where we are. And all the credit goes to the team and the clients who put up with me.
Well, that's amazing. That's
me as well.
Congrats on the success. I mean, that's a lot of cases there.
Yeah, no, we're blessed. We do a lot of complex litigation. So about 80% of our cases come from other attorneys who need assistance. Either they can't afford the case, they don't know how to handle the case, they don't want to litigate the case. Maybe they're transactional attorneys. And so we try to provide everyone with an outlet to go to, even if they can't facilitate the case themselves. And it helps create a lot of relationships around the community. And we've actually had cases in 27 states. So around the country, I would say.
That's excellent. I've actually, that seems to be a trend that attorneys that litigate or do some of the things others are not willing to do or don't want to do tend to get a ton of referrals from a lot of other attorneys. So,
there was a stat. I'm huge in just people. I love, for me, we are a service industry. And I know people don't want to hear that a lot of times as an attorney, but our job is to serve others, serve our communities, serve each other, serve our clients. And I read a stat where roughly 85% of attorneys are introverts, which typically leads to not wanting to be in the courtroom. And so I would love to give them that outlet where they can still generate income and not necessarily have to do something that they don't enjoy doing.
That's a good point. And I had this conversation yesterday with an attorney and a gentleman down in Florida, Jacksonville, and we were talking about introverts, extroverts, and I think everyone has this perception, not attorneys, but the general public, which I guess I could be included in. I'm not an attorney, but is that they're all this like crazy, like go in the courtroom, take charge, and speak in front of 1,000 people, and it's funny how many I hear are that I know personally that are completely the opposite of that, and never step foot into a courtroom. Really, they don't do that. So
yeah, and if you think about Myrtle Beach, where I am, and probably everywhere, Virginia, where you are, anyone, big kind of retirement areas, big tourist areas where you have a lot of closings, real estate transactions, or you have a lot of estate planning, and they're almost like the first point of contact for a lot of people, but they don't necessarily want to do the litigation work. They just want to do the transaction work. So to allow them a different foray, a different avenue to generate income without actually having to step outside their comfort zone really is where we looked at putting ourselves. And so we do a lot of that, and I don't even want to call it marketing, we do a lot of that networking and relationship building with other attorneys in our area that oftentimes get overlooked. We all have those attorneys in our areas that jump over cars and act like clowns on TV and want to yell at people to hire them. And we're not going to be those people. But as attorneys, I don't think we want to hire those people either. And so to be able to get the attorneys out there that are wanting an attorney or needing an attorney to make a referral, and to show them that they have an outlet to make that referral that they consider to be a true relationship and to be a true professional position, is beneficial to everyone. It's a win-win for the client.
Yeah, 100%. And oddly enough, we've interviewed for this show anyway. We're just getting started. Really, it's been 8-10 months, but we've had almost 100, I think, attorney managing partners on this show, and majority. I don't think we've had any. The ones that I have on there: integrity, trust, service, referrals. That's at the core of most of the folks' businesses that we've spoke with, and our clients as well. We do digital marketing. We do marketing, advertising for law firms, and that's not necessarily our ideal customer. That's for sure. The crazy want to advertise everywhere. They only look at us as a partner that's servicing them. It's really more of a, are you producing or not? And they'll cut you real quick and go on to the next thing. So it's just, we like a firm that has, same values that we have. So,
well, that's what, everybody, a lot of us grew up in a position where you had, Atticus Finch with To Kill a Mockingbird, and you had those guys that people really relished, those community attorneys, and they weren't there for making money. We have to remember, again, Atticus Finch, he worked for free. It was pro bono what he did. Yet we look at a lot of people look at attorneys make jokes about it's just about the money. And so we make sure for us at our firm in Winslow that it's about God first, client second, each other third, and then ourselves last. And if we do that and we take care of those in that order, then we will be taken care of by our community and by God as well.
I love it. Absolutely. One other note on that is and they maybe they could be our client one day, so I might be shooting myself in the foot. But you see the attorney that's like a motorcycle injury attorney, and like they're like on a Harley, like I ride too. It's like,
I know.
It's just,
well, that's
but probably not.
Right, I'm in Myrtle Beach. We got 2 bike weeks a year, right? And so I see those guys all the time. And I think, how are you representing not just yourself, but your community and your industry? And if we honestly want people to trust us again and stop making jokes about us, we got to stop being a joke. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to put ourselves out there for the community as being a resource.
Well, you can only control what you do, so that's at least you guys are doing the right thing. I like that. So, so a couple other questions about so referrals and relationships, hands down, the best way. But I'm sure you do other things and focus on things. So outside of referral relationships, what else are you guys doing from a marketing standpoint? Maybe something that's unique, something that's worked well, that's helped drive some traffic or some phone calls for you?
Yeah. So, we started the firm about 8 years ago, and I can't compete with people that spend $100,000 a month in TV and radio. We've actually got some people in Myrtle Beach that spend upwards of $300,000 a month. I can't compete with that, right? So my view was to be a resource. And so what we tried to do was the whole community events, go to the free networking, go to the chambers. I was told at one point, look, when you don't have money, you have time. When you don't have time, you have money, right? So when we didn't have the money, we had time. And I would be at all these events. I would make relationships throughout the community. I offered to go to anything and everything for free, to just say hello and shake hands. And as that started picking up, and I was teaching these CLEs and teaching these classes and writing publications that didn't cost me any money, then as opportunities came on, hey, we want you to come on the radio show. The news wants to interview you about the situation. When you start picking that up and picking up that speed where you're that resource for the community to go to, and you start becoming more of a name and start becoming more of a contact and a destination than you having to go and get those people. But that's me. I love going out there with people and shaking the hand. To me, being an attorney is not about the file or the paperwork I have in front of me. It's about the clients behind it. It's about the people, their daughter, their husband, their child. And it's all you ever do is sit in the office and work on your computer and on a file. You forget there's actually people and lives at stake. So to go out and shake hands and to go to their houses and be personal and have a relationship is the purpose of being an attorney for me. And we've had clients that we've served 5-6 times for multiple needs over my 16-year career and over the 8 years of the firm, just because I love going to their house and having dinner with them or talking to them on the phone. So many people say, why do you give people your cell phone? I have my cell phone on my business card. I want them to call me. My job is to serve them. They're not serving me. If I think that the clients need me, then I've lost my way. I need them. There's 10,000 other attorneys they can go to, and they chose me. I should relish that and be blessed by that opportunity to serve them.
Love it. Tom Winslow for president. Who's with me?
Nobody. It's dead silent.
No, there's people out there.
Especially my wife. My wife says no way.
That would be brutal to go through. You have to be from a real place of service if you can want to do something like that. But yeah, I love it. Is there, from other aspects, things more related to what we do? You have a nice website. I've taken a look at that. What have you done from a digital perspective? SEO.
So on the website, when this whole COVID thing hit, we live in an area where hurricanes hit, right? So to a point before COVID hit, we had to be ready to act outside the office if things got shut down. I mean, look what just happened in New Orleans. We got shut down for a month. What would we do? So we had, you could pay online. So you wouldn't even have to come in the office to pay your bills. We emailed the bills out bi-weekly. So that way people can pay, they get billed, they click the link, they can pay immediately online. Online, you can make your own appointments online. So that way you don't actually have to call in. You can set up your own appointment online, which obviously saves us administrative time as well, because it automatically populates the calendar. You can do appointments, and you choose, our clients choose. They can do it in person, on the phone, or video conference, right? Nowadays, there's no reason why you can't do that, which has opened the door up for many people that have, say, second homes, right? They buy a home down here, but they still live in New York, they still live in Virginia, and they want to meet with an attorney. Well, they don't have to worry about going somewhere. Maybe they don't want to talk on the phone. We can still see each other and talk just by doing it online. They can choose that through our website. What we also what we want to do is we have in our office, we've opened our entire office up. We have 3 conference rooms with full video conferencing and telephone conferencing. So we've opened our office up for our community. If they want to come in and have a meeting, or they want to have a get together at our office and we're not using the conference room, we allow them to reserve it and come in.
Excellent.
And use that. So it brings people to the firm that they can use. We have a law library. They just still have the hard books, right? We never got rid of the hard books, even though we have Westlaw. And the community can come in and use those hard books. They can use the library if they want to look up their own issues, right? We have them. Why let them just sit there? We put a little library, one of those little free library boxes that people can go to and grab a book out of for free in our parking lot. That way they can come and get a book. And
cool.
Right there's our sign, right? They see it. And so, again, we want to be that resource. We want to be that epicenter for the community to come to. We host a radio show on Saturday and Sunday mornings that highlights legal stories in the news and how it kind of relates to them and their daily life. Because everybody in their life has always said, I could be an attorney, right? Everybody said it. Or everybody said, oh, you should be an attorney. You like to argue, right? Everybody's got this little thing. There's this little thing about them that's always said, I could be.
There's a lot of people on Facebook, I think, should be attorneys too.
Right, yeah, most people on Facebook, right? Especially with their comments. But and so we give them an opportunity. We say, here's a radio show. Let's talk about these different stories in the news, and let's talk about the legal aspects and kind of the intricacies that you can see the big picture, but here's the details. And so it allows them to learn and not just be yelled at, but to be included in. And so we do that. And that's really benefits, even like I said, the news station, when they call, talk to us about this story, we're that resource for the community to go to.
That's really cool. So give me a little bit more about that. So you have a radio show? Yeah,
the show. We have a podcast as well.
Excellent.
We call it the Legal Brief. And so it's basically we take it's just 30-minute show a week. And we just take the stories in the news and we say, this is how the law applies to them. Now the law from those stories, whether it's in Hong Kong or local, actually implies situations in your life and how these impact your life. And it's amazing that, every detail, you get a situation of a premises liability in California, you can learn law from that you can apply in a case in South Carolina. And as attorneys, that's what we should be doing. That's why we look at court cases, because that tactic that smart attorney used in California, I never thought of that. Now I can use that here in South Carolina for my client, and you as a client of mine obviously can benefit from that.
Absolutely. No, that's really cool. I love that. I have basically 2 or 3 podcasts that I am part of, and it's been great. And I've actually spoken to a few other attorneys on this show that have successful podcasts that for divorce or different topics that have generated a lot of business for them and allows them to, help by answering questions and talking different topics. But that's really cool what you have there. So, is the audience catered towards any audience, or is it for, again, like I said, it's useful for your clients, but other attorneys as well? It sounds like,
right. And that's the point of it, right? So it's on Saturday and Sunday mornings on our big radio station down here in the Myrtle Beach area. So it hits everybody. And it hits people, whether they be someone that's looking for an attorney, someone that just is interested in the law. We talk about everything from criminal to family to civil. So any attorney that doesn't do that can learn a little something about another arena. The way the firm is built, we have 7 attorneys now because I built a bunch of small law firms and one big law firm, right? I grew up in my before the firm was started, at a firm that did mostly complex litigation. We only handled big cases over $100,000. So we did civil over $100,000. We didn't do the criminal, family, other stuff. So people would come in, we turn them away, and we never see them again. And so what I wanted to do was to create a firm where each attorney was in the firm and could feed off each other, but had their own niche. So I have one attorney that does family law, one attorney that does estate planning, one that does criminal, and on and on. So when that person comes in, we can go to that person for that client, and they know what they're doing, and they stay in the firm. They come back with another topic. They go to another attorney who knows what they're doing, but it's all contained within the same law firm. But it's also been beneficial for us as attorneys because I don't know family law as well as my family law attorney does. So if that question comes up, I got someone I can go to also and feed off of them, and we can all work together. And it's amazing how many clients we have that have a criminal, civil, family, estate issue, and we just take care of them one attorney at a time.
wow. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that, actually. Usually you got this big conglomerate and with, lots of stuff going on, and that's an interesting kind of how you've arranged. So is there any kind of separation between, or is I think it looks like you have maybe more than one office location as well?
We have 3 offices. And that's, again, the beauty of it, right? So, being where we are and going through what we went through, we can be completely virtual. We have the 3 offices, but everybody can pick up their stuff. They have their equipment to go anywhere they want to go. If they have to go to trial in Chicago, they just pick up their phone and their computer and they're off. So no matter where I'm an attorney, they can set up an office. So we have an office in Pawleys Island, which is near Myrtle Beach, Conway, and in Columbia. And so my Columbia attorneys can come down to Pawleys and work for the day, or I can go up to Columbia and work for the day, right? And so this really facilitates ease and ability to work anywhere we need to with clients and or trials.
I love it. Is there any, do you have individual like landing pages, websites, and separate marketing that's for the individual practice areas, or?
Yeah, so within our website, as you saw, we have the breakdown inside of that website. Now we do have the one solid website. We use Facebook, of course, a lot.
Okay.
That's our primary source. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Instagram, we're on all these different areas. But the real driver, it still feels, and Kevin, this, it still feels Facebook is that driver of social media. So you'll get a little bit here and you'll get a little bit there. Shoot, we have a Pinterest page. I don't know if I've ever seen a case come from Pinterest, but we have one. But we'll put posts here and there, Twitter, but still Facebook is the thing. So we do a weekly blog every Monday at 9 a.m. We do a weekly blog that goes out to about 7,000 people, and we'll post that on the Facebook page, and that'll drive interest as well. And it's just another way to make that touch, right? To make that connection and to create that relationship.
Yeah, 100%. You got to nurture people, give them some free information, help them with their questions, and if they're they're ready to talk to you or they have a need, then they'll reach out. So,
that's right.
I love that coming from a place of service. So
that's the same thing with the blog. We pick a story kind of in the news and we talk about it and how it relates to the firm and how we can assist them with that area of need.
And honestly, I feel a lot of firms struggle with social media and figuring out if it works, where does it work, how they make it work, and I feel like some might try little things here and there and kind of give up on it, or they have a bunch of profiles and half are not even posted on in the last couple of years, and so I hear that a lot. But Facebook's got a great platform because it's still dominant, and especially for the type of folks you're looking for. And it's got a good referral system built in. You can refer business through Facebook by saying, I recommend X, Y, Z, and tag them. There's, Instagram, you can't do that. LinkedIn, you can't do that. So it's still just.
And I'll tell you what I love, Kevin, is when people ask, and I don't know how it is in your community, but around here, you got like that Nextdoor app and all these different things.
Yes.
People ask, hey, I need a referral for a good attorney, right? I need someone to help me out with a will. And when I see, I've got on regular maybe 5 to 10 people that say Tom Winslow, Goldfinch Winslow. And I always respond back, thank you very much. We are happy to serve you, and here's our phone number, right? And just to see, because now I got people in the community doing my advertising for me. They're seeing these things, they're putting our name out there just because they trust us. And a lot of them might not have ever used us, but they trust us to help them. Yeah,
so you can't get wrong with that. And that's why Facebook's just a good platform. It has that built in. And for right now, I agree with you. I feel like that's the dominant place. Now, if you're in, like, say, strictly business law, LinkedIn might be a stronger place. But that's individual, though. Business pages don't do well on LinkedIn. People's profiles, people do. So
yeah, I have LinkedIn also, and I haven't seen much success from LinkedIn, honestly.
Yeah, if you're not Tom Winslow, engaging and posting good content and answering questions for people and doing that kind of stuff, it's really not going to be that helpful for you. So it's people connect with people. That's the end of the day.
I agree.
And so
relationships.
Yeah. So awesome, man. That's really cool stuff. The show is awesome. What was the name of the radio show? You said it's a podcast as well, too.
Yeah, podcast is The Legal Brief, Goldfinch Winslow Legal Brief.
Like the Legal Brief? Okay.
Show. Yep, little 30-minute show that we put out there for people to see and listen to.
I love it. I'll throw it on the screen here. The Legal Brief. Let's see, make sure I get this right. The Legal Brief. Awesome. Is that anywhere linked off your website, or is there access
to? If you go to the website, you'll see we've done 120 of them. So you'll see a link to them, and you can listen and then hang up because you don't want to hear anymore.
Right. Oh, what do I want to do on Sunday? Law show. I'm just kidding.
That's right, law show. I mean, that right. When you're a legal nerd, right? You do law all day. You go and watch law shows. You read law books. You listen to law. That's just what you do. I'm
gonna check some of them out. I mean, I talk to lawyers all day. It's great. So eventually I might become an attorney. I don't know, but I just love learning everything and getting more familiar. And so I'm gonna check a couple of those out. So everyone checking in. Now or later, go to goldfinchwinslow.com. I'll also put that link in the comments so you can click on it and check out his website. Sounds like there's a link to the show there too. So go check that out. Other than your website, I assume there's other contact information on there. But if someone tuning in right now, another attorney, maybe they're in South Carolina, maybe they want to refer you business or just ask you questions, what's the best way for them to contact you?
Yeah, so you obviously can go to the firm website. You can link us there, obviously, but my email is tom@goldfinchwinslow.com. The phone number is 843-357-9301. Happy to just talk to anybody, answer questions, take you out to lunch, help you with referrals, or simply refer you cases. Love to work with y'all.
I look forward to dinner at Tom's house.
You're welcome
at some point.
Anytime. We'll tell my wife when we get there.
Don't be surprised when I'm like,
come on down.
That's what kind of guy Tom is, guys. So be more like Tom. He's got a great practice, a great firm. It sounds like they're just doing very well and respected in their community. So a lesson learned right there you can take away from this episode, if anything. So
we are very blessed, and it's because of people like you and our clients and everyone watching. So thank you so much for this opportunity. If I can help anyone or serve anyone, please let me know.
Yeah, Tom, I appreciate it today. Everyone, you can check this out. This will be up on our website soon, arraylaw.com/podcast. Usually takes a week or two before we get it on the site. Tom will have his own dedicated page. We'll have this episode in video. Also, this will be on the podcast version on Apple and Google Podcast. This is already going to be on YouTube today, on my LinkedIn profile, Facebook as well. So Tom will be everywhere. And then in the next couple of weeks, we're going to take all this, some of the cool things Tom had to share, we'll get up on our Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and we'll be posting that. Tom will provide all that content to you and your firm, about 12 different pieces of micro content that you can use. And hopefully that'll be helpful for you. So stay tuned. Tom's going to be famous. If the paparazzi shows up at your house, I can't really take the blame.
I am so concerned about that right now.
You should be. For me, if you need any help with digital marketing, we only work with law firms, arraylaw.com. Just like Tom, we're here to help. We're very passionate. We're very selective with our clients. We got to know that we can help. And if you have questions, I'm here to answer them. You don't have to be a client for us to help you out. So check me out. Go to the website or just go on LinkedIn. I'm always available there, Kevin Daisy, and we'll help you however I can. Also, if you're interested in being on the podcast, please reach out. We're looking for managing partners so we can learn about how they're growing their firms, just like Tom. So that's it. Tom, anything else before we head out on this Friday, beautiful Friday afternoon?
Yeah, beautiful. Especially down here in Myrtle Beach. So y'all feel free to come down and visit, look us up. I'll take you out to lunch. And if you ever need something, just email, call, or anything you might need. Happy to help out. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you. All right, you stay on. We'll end the show. Everyone have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.